An unannounced broadcast. I was sitting here in the afternoon and been doing some stuff and realized I haven't been live for a while, so thought I'd just go live. So here I am, and see what happens. Um, Hello, Wendy. Thank you for joining me. You're the first today. Awesome, Kelly Marie, Matthew. Thank you. Um, had some pretty interesting developments occur recently. I want to share them with everybody. You might have seen my post. Let me bring it up here. Let me find. Oh, here we are. Okay, you guys might have seen this thing. I'm going to be part of this. Keenan presents the live performance showcase. Laugh Boston, Sunday, October 23rd, 7 p.m. Okay, so I want to tell you what this is. Keenan Thompson, of course, Saturday Night Live. If you guys remember, I remember when he was on Nickelodeon, Keenan and Kel. I don't know why they didn't take Kel. I thought they were a wonderful pair. I don't know why Keenan and Kel didn't get picked up by Saturday Night Live, but anyway, they picked up Keenan. And so anyway, he's doing this. I'm not even quite sure what you get for being on this thing, but I got a message. I'd been recommended by some others, and so I got added to the showcase, and it's going to be interesting. I'm doing 3 minutes, so if anybody's coming to this thing, it's a Laugh Boston in Boston. It's Sunday night. There's a whole showcase. A lot of very funny people on the show. I know several of them. It's if you just come just for the sake of just being on a show that's fun, and you get to be introduced to a lot of new comics, it's worth being there. So it's going to be fun. Competitions are always a little ridiculous, to be honest with you. I've done competitions, and I dislike them very much. Because it's very subjective. Comedy is a very subjective thing, and I don't like the competition aspect to it. But you know what can you do? They say industry. This is how they rope you in. There's going to be industry there. What that means is there's a bunch of people who draw a paycheck in the entertainment industry, whether or not they have any actual pull or interest in you at all. Who knows? Who knows? It's crapshoot. Anytime you do one of these things, it's just best you can hope for is you have fun and you meet some people. So that's it. So that's what's going on. Oh, hello, Germany. Someone joined us from Germany. Thank you. So that's going on. If you win this round, you move on to New York. You get to meet the cast of Saturday Night Live. And from there, I don't know. I don't know where you go on from there. So, but it looks interesting. It should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. So if you're in Boston, come on out. And then also, I'm continuing to pick up more shows. I'm going to be doing. So I got a nice week. November is going to look like a lot of fun. November, we're going to have a good time in November because, well, okay, October 29th, I am in Niceville, Florida. And what this is, it's a music festival. And the way it started, I need to get the gal who started. I need to interview her. I should probably do that today. Anyway, they wanted to hire one band to come and play, and then they got talking and thought, well, we could make this even more. And so they started adding more bands. Next thing they know, they turned it into a music festival. And then when they were doing the music, they're like, well, we should have somebody host it. They reached out to me to host it. So now it's going to be comedy and music festival. The comedy is just me, just so you know, it's just me. I'm in. I'm the whole comedy part of the show, of the thing. Anyway, but it's going to be fun. And it's in Florida. It's the first time they're doing this, and it's going to be fun. It's a one-day festival. There's costume contest because it's so close to Halloween. It's it's the weekend before Halloween, so it's going to be fun. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm getting invited to music festivals, a bunch of music festivals. I think I'm getting hired to do more music festivals than anything at this point. So, which is makes me feel like I need to learn how to play music. So anyway, so yeah, I'm doing that. I'm the Niceville. It's in Niceville. It's called the Cosmic Vibrations Music Festival. It will be fun. I'll be doing a lot of comedy. I'll be hosting the shows. I'm going to be singing. I'm going to be doing my debut performance for the good people who will be in attendance. I'm learning the song. I just dropped in to see what condition my condition is in. It should be interesting and a lot of fun. You're in Cromwell. Woohoo. I live in Stafford Springs, my friend. I live in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. So those of you who are concerned or interested. Let's see what else is going on. I had a weird dream where I was running around naked, and I was okay with it. I'm still not sure what that means. The music festival, no, will not be broadcast because there's bands and all that kind of stuff. So no, it's not going to be on, as far as I know. I mean, I'll talk to the owner, the people putting this thing on, but at this current moment in time, it's not going to, you got to be there to experience it. So thank you, Facebook user. Come to the East Coast. I am on the East Coast. I live on the East Coast. I live in Connecticut, for crying out loud. Means you're comfortable with yourself naked. Well, I look better naked than I have in the past. I will say that. But it was a weird dream. Because you have those dreams where you're naked and you're trying to get covered up or anything. I was just I wanted to cover up because I didn't want to embarrass people, not because I was embarrassed about being naked. I was worried about other people. Niceville. It's at a school. That's a good question. Thank you for asking. Where in Niceville is this thing? Let me find a post on it. Okay, hold on. It's an amphitheater. Northwest Florida State College Amphitheater. Northwest Florida State College Amphitheater in Niceville. That's where this thing is taking place. Advice to start doing stand-up? Okay, that's a good question. People ask me this all the time. How do you get, because when I started doing stand-up, I had no idea what to do. I wanted to do it. I just know, how do you do it? Is there a school? What do you do? Now, you can take a class. There are people who offer stand-up comedy classes, and they can be beneficial to you. Now, one thing to remind yourself when you take a class to do comedy is that they can teach you how to be funnier, but not necessarily be funny. It's like you could go to a basketball camp and prove your skills at basketball, but it doesn't mean you're going to be the next Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. I mean, or Stephen Curry. You can improve your skills, improve your talents by going to a camp, but doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be guaranteed a spot in the NBA. You know what I mean? Same with comedy. There's a lot of people who've gotten into comedy because of COVID, because people got excited about their dreams and their passions. And they said, I'm tired of not living my best life. And they said, screw this, I'm going to become a comic. And then they really learned very quickly that it's not what you thought it was going to be. Because becoming a comedian you gotta go find your own place to perform. You got to find open mics. You can find the open mics just wherever you're at. Find a comedy group on Facebook. Open mics in your local area. There's usually a bunch of them out there, um, and you write some material. Usually about 2 minutes of material is what I recommend. And then you get out there and you start laying it out. You just go to the open mic. You get up there. You're horrible at it when you first start. Just like anything else you start, you're going to be horrible at it. But you get like a couple chuckles, and you're thinking, "This is it. I'm the greatest, funniest person in the world." And then you just keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you're going to have fun doing it. It is. It is a gut wrenching experience. It is because you are putting yourself out there. You know, when you do other art forms, people are very could be supportive. I mean, if you're a bad singer, people will still, be, oh, well, you tried. They'll be nice to you. But if you're bad at comedy, nobody's nice to you. Nobody gives you any credit. If you'd say you think you're funny, people do not care at all. There's issues. Thank you about the coveralls. I'm a big fan of the coveralls. Even even when they're not popular, I still wear them. You are, when you do stand up, when you put yourself out there, it's the most vulnerable you will ever put yourself and make yourself, because it's a strange, but it's a gut wrenching thing. But man, it's fun. I've done improv, I've done live theater, I've done TV, I've done movies, I've done nothing like doing stand up comedy. I love doing stand up comedy. It's the best feeling ever when you go and just get a group of people laughing and feeling good, and it is so much fun. And but just know it's a hard business. It's a gut wrenching, difficult thing. You end up performing in bars to people who don't care about you at all and will wish you would just shut up so they could watch TV. Um, it's incredible. It's you get on gigs that they'll be set up in a restaurant somewhere, and nobody knew there was going to be comedy, and it's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it's fun. It is quite possibly one of the funnest things you'll ever do. It will soul searching, all that kind of stuff. I've thought about actually doing a series of videos talking about how to write comedy and how to find your thing, how to find your voice, because you got to find your voice. You got to find what makes you funny. When you first start, you kind of just regurgitate other people's jokes. You just kind of mimic how other people do comedy. But at some point in time, to really go, you got to bring something new to the party, and that's the difficult thing. Some people never find it. It's just fun, but it's fun. You mentioned you've been in the movie. Anything? Okay. My movies. Again. What is out there as far as movies I've been in? All background, no speaking roles at all. All background. I was in Independence Day. It was just after I got out of the Marine Corps, and I was hired on as a background actor, extra. They were filming out at the old Wendover hangars. If you're familiar with that, and I went out there for days at a time, and I was just playing a lot of different roles. So I was kind of all over the place. So there's that, and then there was also I Know What You Did Last Summer. I made that one while I was living back in North Carolina. I'm just a fisherman on the pier. I did recently film a movie where I play God in a movie called Jeebus, and it's very irreverent. In retrospect, probably not one of the best decisions I've ever made, but looks like it's going to be an interesting movie. But it's called Jeebus. It's going to be out in I'm not sure which streaming service it's going to be, so I can't really say which. But that's coming up, I think, in April. That's going to be out. So, anyway, so let me go on. Other places. I am going to be in California, November 18th and 19th. There's a small club in West Hollywood that I am going to be performing at. I will be getting you the name. I'll be making announcements about that later. We're still pounding out the details on the show, but I will be in Los Angeles for that whole week. And I'll be filming some stuff. I'll be doing some content creation, and I will be having a lot of fun. So I will be all over LA. If you live in LA and you want to meet up, drop me a line. I'd love to hang out with you. If you want to go to lunch, you want to hang out, if you got a video idea you think it'd be fun to do together, let me know. Be fun to do. So that's what's thanks, HR. Trying to keep up with your comments, but anyway, so I'm in LA. So here's the deal. I'm in Florida on October 29th. And then I'm coming back to Connecticut, and I'm doing 2 shows. One out on the Cape on November 3rd. And then on the 5th, I'm doing a show in Connecticut. The show on the 5th it's a combination of things. It's comedy and also, Remy, thank you very much, man. Thank you, Remy. Yeah, I'll be back in New York. I'll get down to the city at some point in time. But it's a showcase show with a mind reader, magic, that kind of. It's going to be fun. It's a fun show. The gentleman who's putting the show together, I did stuff with him several years ago when he's been wanting to do shows together, and it's never worked out. He finally had one that I was available. It was worked out. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Then I am off to Carson City, Nevada. I have 3 shows through Veterans Day in Carson City, interbounds. I'll be posting those so you know exactly where. I think one of them is a private event, and 2 of them are open to everybody. So I would love to come to Hawaii. I love Hawaii. I love the Big Island. I love Kona. I love the Big Island. That's my favorite. I love all of the islands, but my specific I spent the most of my time when I was in Hawaii on the Big Island. And if I could put some shows together, I would definitely come to Hawaii. So if you know people in Hawaii that have a venue, let me know. Get a hold of me, because man, would I love to go back to Hawaii and do shows. So anyway, I'm doing my hairdresser is me. I don't use shampoo, except I wash my hair once every 2 weeks. Otherwise, I just use water. That's the secret. That's what's in my hair. All natural oils. So anyway, so I'm going to be in LA. Okay, so Carson City. Then I'm going to LA for a week, and then I'm going back to Nevada to Wise Guys in Las Vegas. I'm going to spend Thanksgiving with a wonderful family in Las Vegas, and then we're doing shows Friday and Saturday at Wise Guys. You can go to wiseguyscomedy.com to Las Vegas, and you will have a glorious time. So come and join me. How much cannabis do you invite? That I do not participate in the cannabis. Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, nothing gets people to do. I know a lot of people who have been very happy with their decision to use the stuff, but no, I do not participate in the marijuanas. Again, I think it should be legal. I don't think it's that. If we let alcohol be legal, marijuana should be legal because marijuana is in no way even close to being as bad for you as alcohol is. So I don't, and I don't do the stuff, but I just don't. I have no problem with anybody who takes it. No, I don't. I don't like anything. Like I said, I had a grandfather who was an alcoholic, and so I watched substance abuse as in my childhood. I was aware of substance abuse, and so I just never had any desire for any substance of any kind at all. And I just decided, as a young lad, that I would not participate in any of that stuff. Again, nothing against anybody else. Who does? You do you, man. You do you, and that's what I think we should be doing: is let people do. Do I have any vices? Currently, Coke Zero is my vice. I need to quit soda pop entirely, to be honest with you. Rodney Norman is our real anti. Thank you, Ian. Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. Hey, Rodney, just wanted to thank you for all the content you put out. Oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you guys for your support. When you guys like my stuff, you share it, you watch it. I really enjoy every once in a while I get somebody who's never heard of me and they will find me and they will go through and they will start watching everything I've ever done and then commenting about it. And so then my you get your notifications, they'll blow up, and it's just one person going and watching every video and commenting about them. And it's fun. It's exciting that people are finding that much joy in what I'm doing, and it's glorious. Have I ever seen a UFO? No, but I have a brother who I believe had been abducted. He has an abduction story, and I believe they're real. Yep. Agree with you, Topher. I could not drink Coca-Cola. What's that? Okay. You wizard. I am not a wizard. I have no magical abilities. I have not I'm just a dude that studied philosophy and psychology, and I enjoy acting and doing stand-up comedy. I brought it all together, and that's the magic that I create, babies, my friends. That's the magic I create. Is high quality videos of sorts. Oh, Tiana, you didn't know this? Yeah, Uncle Michael. Michael was, in fact, he doesn't talk about it much, but he was abducted by aliens. I believe so. I have nothing against wizards. I'm not a wizard. I'm not. Do you wish to be a wizard? No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to. I don't need to mess with that stuff. I don't need to. I don't need to get into that. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the Lebowski. That's what I'm going to be for Halloween. If you come to the Cosmic Vibrations Music Festival in Niceville, you're going to see me in my full dude regalia. I got the Pendleton sweater. I got the Pendleton sweater 2 days ago, and I wear it all the time now. I love this thing. It's pure wool. I got the real one, not the fake one. I got the real Pendleton. I splurged on it because I knew I was going to wear it beyond Halloween as well, and I absolutely love the thing. And was expensive. It set me back a bit, I'll be honest with you, but I love it. So yeah, I'm going to be the dude. In fact, I can perform weddings. If you want me to come and perform your wedding as the dude, I'll do it. So anyway, okay, so I'm doing the dude, and then so we're going to be, so when I'm in LA for the second week of November, we're going to be running around doing videos, in and out of character. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of stuff planned, but I will be running all over LA for that week, plus doing shows. And a few people have reached out to me about doing open mics and showing up at their shows. I'm going to do it. I'm not in with any of the clubs in LA. I mean, I know Pauly Shore, but not well enough to ask him to vouch for me to get in the club, I guess. And so, but anyway, I'm going to be in LA. I'm going to be doing smaller clubs, and I'm going to have fun. So come out and hang out. If you're in LA, I'll be dropping more information about those as the information comes in. But anyway, Las Vegas, I'll be there doing shows. And then also I just added the Funny Bone in Hartford, which is actually Manchester, but it's the Hartford Funny Bone, but it's in Manchester. It's kind of like the New York Jets and the New York Giants that actually play in New Jersey. You know, that sort of thing. So I'm going to be, I'm doing shows. I'm doing more shows. And then I'm going to be, I'm just everywhere. I'm trying to get out there. I need to get out there and do more. I do have a few new hats. If your hats are out of stock, you should offer more than one color. Yeah, I agree, Hank. I agree. Here's the deal with our merch. For those of you who participate in the purchasing of the merch, here I'll put this up here so you guys know where to find me. Anyway, the people kept asking us for merch, and we didn't have any. And so Tressa, my lovely and beautiful and darling wife, who is the whole world to me, she decided she would just figure out how to do it herself. And so she went and got all the stuff and started making the shirts. So when you order a shirt or a hat from us, we are the ones who are pressing it and cutting out the vinyl and everything, and we make the shirts. They're right here in my house, downstairs in the basement. We make the shirts. And so when you order something, just know that when you open the bag to take out your shirt, the air that you're breathing was air that I breathed. Just so you know that, me and the wife. Barbara's Rodney prayer candle. That would be interesting. We are going to be offering more options, more merchandise. We're going to be offering more options. Shirts. We're coming up with some new T-shirt designs. More hats. We'll be doing more hats. But the hats sell out pretty quick. And they're embroidered by my cousin, actually, if you're interested. But the hats are all embroidered by my cousin. And so it takes a while because we have to order the hats, send to her, and then she's got to find time to actually do it, and then ship them to us. And so that's what we got going on. So if you're interested in shirts, hats, any of that stuff, that's how we do. We do, like I said, go right there. Oh, there it is, right here, RodneyNorman.com. Right there. You can see it right here. RodneyNorman.com. You can order shirts right there. And we're adding stuff all the time. Every time I make a new video, people want me to say put new sayings on the shirts. So That mellow yellow shirt you have worn is so cool. Yes, I can't find it. I don't know what happened to my mellow yellow shirt. I really don't. I don't know what happened to it. I love that shirt and I can't find it. I don't know what happened to the thing. So my kids usually steal my t-shirts. And so I've been trying to buy them smaller so they wouldn't stop size and stealing from me. A top hat. I don't know. That's a little bit of a stretch. As long, if you want it, I can make it out of cardboard. I can make you a hat out of cardboard. You want one of those? Sure wanted to buy today was the one in conclusion one. I couldn't because Ireland wasn't on the list of countries set. Oh no, I think John. Oh, I think you sent us an email. I think John. Yeah, I think we're going to try to figure that out. We'll try to figure out how to get it sent to you. So, hey, Gregory, good to see you. We are finalizing the calendar. I got to finalize a few things, and we're going to hopefully have that off to the printers this week. So that's coming. Our next year's print thing is about to happen. So we're adding more. So you should get Joe Rogan to get you on podcast with that. Yeah, it would be awesome, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Joe Rogan, the biggest podcast in the world. He has no idea who I am, and it would be fun, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I don't run in the circles that he runs in. So best I could do was start my own podcast and hope people notice. You want to order a beer like mine? All it takes is 3 years of patience. Yes, Idaho is. I'm waiting to hear back. There's two places, one in Idaho Falls and the other place in Twin Falls that I've been to before. I'm waiting to get dates from them, and then we will secure it. And then also, I'm looking to talking to a place in Boise. So yes, I will be coming to Idaho. Probably tacos or burritos, both. Why would you choose between tacos or burritos? That's a dumb question. Both. Wow. Spokane, yeah. You know what? I'm going to reach out to them. I need to reach out to. Any chance in Cleveland, Ohio? Yes, I have a lot of good friends in Cleveland. Yes, we'll be coming to Cleveland, Ohio. Definitely. I need to put some stuff together in Ohio for sure. Absolutely. And Alaska. We're putting Alaska together. North Carolina, Charlotte. Yes, absolutely. I will be coming there. Thank you, John, and your wife. I made a mean peanut butter burrito. Good for you. Good for you. Boone, North Carolina. Love Boone. Love Boone. Hey, Doris Karloff is in Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Yes, Judith, unless it is chicken enchiladas. Is Drew on here yet? But yeah, like I said, if you ever want to go to lunch and I'm around, send me a message. I'll be happy to go out to lunch and chit chat with just about anybody. Taco Time burritos best out there. I do love Taco Time. My favorite at Taco Time is the crisp bean burrito, the deep fried burritos. They're the best. Taco Time makes the best ones. Yeah, this was purely unintentional. I didn't mean to look like a minion today. That was not my plan, but somehow I pulled it off, and didn't even realize until you mentioned it. Now I'm looking at myself thinking, yeah, I did. I pulled off a minion. Um, I would have to agree. Why you don't limit yourself to choose one or the other? Enjoy the burritos and tacos always. Yes, I'd love. I actually found a somewhat decent Mexican place here in Connecticut, which surprised me. Um, I only eat. Here's my deal. I only eat Taco Bell when I'm on the East Coast, only because that's as close to Mexican food as you can actually get. And most Mexican restaurants that I find in Connecticut are very sus because they don't have any actual Mexicans working there. I'm sure, but when I find a good one, I'm very excited about it, and I think I found one that's okay. It's not great. It's still not the best, but it's okay. Um, well, I'm on the East Coast, so Taco Bell's about as close as you're going to get out here. I mean, there's just no real good taco places. Yes, Taco Bell is awful, but you need to understand, Taco Bell is better than what they have out here. Taco Bell is the best, your best option. That's my frustration. You understand? Basically, I don't really eat. I don't eat Taco Bell a lot. I have occasionally, but only when I'm on the East Coast. When I go back west, I don't even acknowledge the existence of Taco Bell. I ignore them entirely. They're not even on my radar. But in Connecticut, it's the closest you can get. So we make our own Mexican. We actually we just do cook our own is probably the best thing. I eat anything spicy. Good for you, Mr. Kennedy. Not a big spicy. I used to be spicy guy. I used to eat a lot of spicy foods, but I can't anymore. I always find it strange that people who eat spicy foods, they act as if it's some sort of superpower, which is kind of funny to me. But I don't know. Jalisco's in North Conway, New Hampshire. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out. Dubuque, Iowa. Okay, well, yeah, yeah. I'm looking for. Right, I fit your poem perfectly that you said the other day. I make art for art's sake. I've been through all your poems held and quite calm my spirit. Well, thank you, Wharton. Thank you. That poem was. Let me tell you the story behind that poem. I don't know if I've. Yes, I have eaten Indian cuisine. I love curry. I really do. But again, I like spicy. My thing is I like spicy, but I have to be. I'm an old white guy. I have to temper it a little bit. Anyway, so the poem that I wrote it a year ago. I was inspired about it a long time ago, many years. And what had happened was I was in a situation where I was helping a friend out, and he was coming out from Utah to live with me in Connecticut. I just needed a place to stay, kind of get on his feet, sort of thing. And both his parents had just died very close to each other, and so he was really having a hard time. And so just needed some time to just put himself together. Good friend, known him for years, and so he's driving his car, and I'm driving my. I had a Nissan Xterra, and we drove from Utah out to Connecticut. Well, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, there is you're probably familiar with Sheets. Those of you on the East Coast, you know about Sheets. Sheets is a convenience store, gas station that is just really cool. It's got a lot of cool stuff. It's a good thing. And the bathrooms are clean. It's decent. It's a decent stop. It's a decent place to stop. So when I go through Scranton, I would stop there, get myself some snacks, use the bathroom, fill up the tank, and that tank is the last tank I need to get home. That will get me home from there. So we stop there. He fills up his car. I fill up mine. We get some snacks. Then we go to get in the cars to leave, and my car will not start. Hey, Ryan B., thank you very much, my friend. That is very kind of you. Shout out to Ryan B. for the little donation. If you're on, what's going on with that? Those of you who don't, if you're on YouTube, you can basically give me tips. You can give me money. And Ryan was very, very kind and threw me some cash. Thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate you. So anyway, we get there. My car won't start. And this is at night, right? And it's like, well, what are we going to do? My friend starts freaking out. He's like, oh, this is terrible, terrible thing. And I'm looking, because if you're familiar with this particular Sheetz, they share a parking lot with a Pep Boys that has a garage part to it. And so some very kind gentlemen help us push the vehicle out of the way of the pumps over into the parking lot for the Pep Boys. The Pep Boys is closed at the time. But I left the car there, of course, and I put the keys in a place that I could, if you couldn't find them, if you looked for them, you wouldn't find them. But if you knew where they were, you could find the keys, that sort of thing, right? So I hit the keys on the car. And I mean, if you could get the key, you couldn't move the car anyway. It wouldn't start, right? So I get in my friend's car and we continue on to Connecticut, right? And my friend's all freaking out. He's like, oh, this is terrible. Your car's broke down. It's going to be so expensive, blah, blah, blah. And so, I'm telling him as we're driving, I said, what do you mean? This is amazing. This is amazing that we drove all the way across the country and the car didn't break down until we got to basically the most perfect spot you could possibly break down at, is in the parking lot of a garage. I mean, you couldn't ask for, I didn't have to get it towed or anything. It broke down in the parking lot of a garage. And so the next day we get home, and then the wife and myself drive back. We make a phone call that morning. I call the Pep Boys. I said, hey, I called them. I said, look, my car's out in your parking lot. The alternator's dead. How much for an alternator? They looked it up. They had one. It was a reasonable price. Danielle Evans, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Danielle. I appreciate you. And so I call them. I tell them it's out there. They said, hey, we can get it in. Do you have the keys? I said, I left the keys in the car. I explained to them how to get them. They said, that's brilliant. Thank you. And so then they pulled the car in. I get there, and within an hour of arriving there, they had it fixed. They had it running. It was very reasonably priced under the circumstances, and we got it running, and I was very happy. So in talking with my friend about how, if you look at everything as horrible, when bad things happen to you, you're really missing the point of life. I mean, sometimes bad things happen and they turn out to be a good thing. I had a girlfriend that I thought was going to be my one and only forever, and she ended up dumping me, and I felt bad, and I felt doomy gloomy. And then I met my wife, the woman who had become my wife, and at that point in time, I'm going, holy crap, I'm glad the other girl dumped me, because I would have never dumped her, but she dumped me. And yeah, unfortunate things are not always bad. And when you learn to look at things like that, to stop looking at everything as good and bad, Life is better. Anyway, somebody asked, right here is a Union 76 gas station thing. The reason I have that is because when I was growing up, my grandfather, my other grandfather, my grandpa Norman, my dad's father, owned a gas station. It was a Union 76 gas station. And I used to I used to make tip money when I was a kid washing people's windows at the gas station. Um, they eventually sold the gas station, and 76 pulled out of Utah. They're now starting to come back. Union 76s are starting to show up in Utah again. But um, anyway, so it was just my grandpa had a Union 76 gas station, so I've always been very partial to it. Plus, we raced cars, and the race car was basically an advertisement. Was sponsored by the gas station, so the race car number was always 76, and it was done to promote the gas station there in town, and so that's why it's just a connection. I don't think really it was just that manager acted like I was lying about it, but I had the receipt from the next mechanic actually replaced them when it broke down again. Oh, Mark, yeah, you're talking about, yeah, you know what? I hate to blame organizations for being bad, because usually it's just, I don't think most organizations want to screw you over. Like Pep Boys, they were actually really cool to me. They were very reasonably priced. They got it done quickly. They pushed the car. They went and pushed the car in themselves. I mean, it was out in the parking lot, and they were able to push it in. Thank you, Danny. Danny, I had a friend named Norman. You and him look identical. Oh, well, that's cool. Thank you. Yeah, things might seem like they're bad, but they can be good. But anyway, let me go back to that poem, and that was the idea behind the poem. So anyway, a year ago, um, I was sitting there, and the idea of the poem, the idea of the prose, if you will, came to me, and I literally just wrote it all out on Facebook and posted it, and it seemed to be received pretty well. And then this last couple weeks ago, I decided to go ahead and record it. So it was a lot of fun. Hello, Josh Thomas. I guess you're very persistent, so I guess I'll say hi to you. Thank you for the overall. Thank you for the comment about the overalls. These are Levi brand overalls. I have several different pairs of different companies. I love overalls. They're very comfortable. They give they're just very nice. I just love them. Thank you, Harry. Rock my socks. Okay, well, it's very kind of you. So anyway, how long we've been going here? 48 minutes. You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining me. I need to do these more consistently. I love watching your green eggs and ham. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You enjoyed watching it when you were sick. I'm not sure the replication there is, but no, thank you. I love that book, and I enjoy reading it. I used to read to my kids all the time when they were younger. I would read silly stories and have fun with them, and so I just thought it'd be fun to start doing that again. You haven't tried to wear coveralls since the 80s? Yeah, I just love when I fly on a plane. When I fly on an airplane, I wear coveralls, so I don't have to take off a belt. Plus, you got little pockets here to put all your stuff. is just nice. So can't get above the norm. That's funny. My old neighbor named Norman used to say, "I can't get above the norm." That's funny, Wharton. Uh, what did you work as in your life? Interesting. Okay, my first jobs was I worked as a janitor. I've done landscaping. I've worked in several kitchens as a cook, as a prep cook. I was in the Marine Corps, but primarily my big job before I got into comedy was I was a carpenter, built houses, that kind of stuff. But it was not what I wanted to become an actor or comedian right from the get go. And so I did other jobs to make it so I could do this. But so now I do this full time now, which is pretty fun. I love it. Okay, Josh, we get your point. Thanks. You can stop now, Josh. What was the first concert you ever went to? Journey, and Brian Adams was opening for him. That's right, Journey with Steve Perry. So the original lineup of Journey. No banks. I built bridges and a couple hotels in Jacksonville, North Carolina. You ever play roles in that? Yeah, I played lots of roles as an actor. Schopenhauer. Yes, I have read Schopenhauer. I like Schopenhauer. He's a very interesting philosopher. Hey, Waterbury, Dominic Davino. Hello, Junior. Dominic Junior. Hey, Just Rob. Front row. Now I was up a little ways, but it was still fun. In fact, I remember going with my friend and his mom, who took us. His name was Jason Wyasket. He was a Navajo Indian, not Navajo. He was Ute. He was Ute Indian, and he was my best friend at the time. And I've lost touch with Jason. Jason Wyasket. If anybody knows him, I think he lives in Roosevelt, I believe. But anyway, his name was Jason Wyasket. He was my best friend in junior high, and then he moved, and I was going to different schools. I never know what happened to him, but yeah, I went to a Journey concert with my best friend Jason Wyasket. Me and my wife are one of your biggest fans and make us laugh and show your videos to everyone I meet. Favorite videos, your silent ones where you don't say a word. Oh, well, thank you. Those are fun. I enjoy doing those. You were going to do the Palace Theater in Waterbury. Um, I need to contact them. You know what? I need to contact them. I know there's a Palace Theater. I'll check into that one, Dominic. If you have a connection, let me know. Get a hold of me. Because yeah, I need to start putting more stuff together. Am I a fan of Tom Petty? Yes, of course I am. I'm trying to think. I think I did see Tom Petty in Salt Lake once. There with Jackson Brown. That was pretty cool. Where were you stationed at in the Marine Corps? I was in my first duty station. Well, I went to boot camp in San Diego, and then I went to combat training at Camp Pendleton in California. Then I went to 29 Palms for my school training. Um, and then from there, I went to Okinawa, Japan. I was with 4th Marines. And then from there, I came back, got married, and then went to North Carolina, where I was at 8th Communications Battalion in French Creek in Camp Lejeune. I just did 4 years. I knew that's all I was going to do. So that's all I did. I could have stayed in, but I just didn't want to. So my first concert was Thursday. Sorry, Electric Factory. Oh, okay. Thanks, Carissa. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, here's their number. It shows there. You would fit great. Okay. Well, thanks. Thanks. I'll check it out. Why do people die? Their body shuts down and they move on to a different existence. Told to dumb it down. Now here's my thing. When I say dumb it down, that's what I used to do. So the new stuff, I'm not dumbing it down. I'm having fun. Trying to watch it from Corby, England. Well, thank you, Michael. How's England doing these days? Born in Miami, Florida. Well, thanks. Thanks for sharing. You are crazy. We're all crazy. How was the comedy shift? I did a comedy club this weekend up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. A friend of mine named Jim McHugh has McHugh's Comedy Club, and it's in this little diner, and it's weird to get into. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. We had a good turnout. We had a lot of fun. Everybody who came out, we had a great time. We had Dalton. It was his birthday on Saturday, and so his mom brought him a cake, and I gave him a shirt. That was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. The Osmonds that our parents took us to, I think it was probably Don McLean by myself. Oh, okay, that'd be a fun one to go to. Pat Pax Pax. No, I don't know that person. My coveralls. My you start wearing coveralls. That's cool. They're comfortable. I'm telling you, they are comfortable, and I love them. Used to be being crazy meant something. Now everybody's crazy. That's true. Do you believe in free will? Yes, I do. Thanks, Schopenhauer. I do believe in free will. Um, I do believe in free will. Because they say that you don't have free will because your subconscious makes a decision before your conscious mind, but your subconscious is still you. So you're still the one making the decision. That's how I see it. Hello, Bakersfield. Pax, I don't know any of these people. I applaud you in your attempt, but no. Sorry, I'm getting all these notifications. What happens after we die? I don't know. We just we go into a different level of existence. I believe so. I have my theories. I have my beliefs, but I don't know for sure. I really don't. Yeah, I like being me. I had some people get mad at me this week though because they found out that the character was a character. They thought it was a real person, and then they find out that it was me acting. And I don't get upset by that. I don't get offended when people feel that way, because it just means I'm that good an actor that they believed it was a real person. And to me, he is a real person. He's based off a real person. So I don't mind. I don't mind. You in for the dime at 8 in November 15th? Send me a message. Dove, send me a message. I think you did send me. I think this is one of the ones I was talking to. Is that right? On the 15th, November 15th? I think so, yeah. Yes, okay, yeah, okay. Sorry, I get a lot of messages. It's hard to keep them all straight as to who's who. So, yeah, it's about doing the comedy show. The comedy. Yeah, yeah, I'm up for that. Should be fun. You should leave 105 from IKEA. Uh, oh, from my shelf. How much do you read per month? I average probably about 2 books a week, depending on it, sometimes more, sometimes less, but usually about I read about 2 books a week, so 6 to 10 books a month, mostly nonfiction. If I do a fiction book, I usually do it on audiobook, audio. In absolute truth, I believe there are some absolute truths. Absolutely. Um, I used to have a Kia. My son has a Kia, but I don't drive a Kia. I currently now drive a GMC Terrain. I had to finally break down. I was tired of breaking down, so I broke down and bought a car so I could stop breaking down. So I ended up buying a Chevy Terrain. Bought it used, and it's a great car. Starting to read again after a very long time. Any suggestions? Oh, I do. I do have a suggestion right here. This is one of the best books you could ever read. I highly recommend it. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. There's this one, and let's see what else. What else am I currently reading? I'm reading Marcus Aurelius, The Art of Living. This is a nice book. I think is a pretty well put together book about Epictetus. Been reading through that one. I just started getting into this one, The Daily Stoic, Ryan Holiday. It's a very nice book. So far, again, it's just sort of like a daily thing of Stoicism. It's very, very insightful. I really enjoy it. I've also been reading The Stoic Challenge. Again, I love Stoicism, and when I find new books on it, I love to read them just to see what's going on, how people are interpreting it and doing it. And then, of course, also, I also read this almost every day. I have several versions of the Tao Te Ching. I've started reading this when I was in high school, and I read from it almost every day. I have spurts where I don't read it for a while, but this one's pretty cool because it's got pictures. And Very, very insightful. I love the Tao Te Ching. It helps you think about life. So there's that, and then of course I read the Bible. I'm a big Bible reader as well. So Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a great book. That's a good suggestion. Tolkien, very good. Yep. The Art of War. Yeah, I've got actually started reading the Five Rings. What else have I got here? It's nothing. Nothing exciting. Semantic, you're only as good as your thoughts. Absolutely. That is good. The Art of War is a very good book. You play guitar? So okay. Yes, I have. I'm trying to learn to play the guitar, but I do not currently do it. The Last Days of the Dinosaurs. That's cool. Would you do a set in a coffee house? Or yes, I've done many coffee houses. Absolutely. I'll do anywhere you can get a group of people to show up. I'll do some shows. I'll do shows. I'm happy to do them. Do I take cannabis? No, I do not. 1984 is a great book. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Hey, El Machete, my friend, my South American in South Africa friend. How you doing, my friend? I do need to come there. Upcoming shows, Florida. I'm going to be in Florida, October 29th. Again, I did not mean to be a minion today. I don't know how I pulled this off. I'm an atheist, but I believe there is an absolute. Cool. So you're not an atheist. You're probably more agnostic. So you won't take cannabis in payment, or just won't smoke? No, I have no interest in anything that alters your mood, or I just have no interest. I've had things that do that. Like I got hurt one time, and they gave me Demerol, and I disliked it enormously. I did not like the feeling. I just have no desire to take anything that is a mood altering substance. I don't have anxieties. I don't have. I don't have a reason to smoke pot. I guess is what I'm saying. And again, I don't have anything against it. I don't have anything against people who do it. It's just not something I ever have a desire to do. I do not have tie dyes yet. We're working on putting together tie dyes available through us, but we do not have them yet. Yes, life alters mood. I just, like I said, I just don't want to use. I have no interest in using substances. I do. Okay, now you bring it up. I do not like caffeine. I do drink caffeine from time to time, but it doesn't really have any effect on me. But this is, if you look, this is zero caffeine. So, no, I don't care for caffeine either. I need Rodney Norman Speedo. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs a Rodney Norman Speedo. I'm sorry. I know it's poison. I know it's poison. I agree with you. I do not in any way, shape, or form disagree with you on that. Coke is poison. I agree. Okay, favorite comedian and why? I've answered this many times. Probably Robin Williams, just because he had so much energy. He was so creative, and was just fearless. What is my go-to inspirational Bible verse? I don't know. There's many of them. I think my favorite one is just "If you've loved me, love one another." And then also the "Upon this all oh no, I forget it. Anyway, Christ was asked, "Which is the greatest commandments?" And he says, "Love your God with all your heart, and love your fellow man as you do your God." So I'm not I never got into coffee. My grandparents were coffee drinkers, and my grandmother taught me how to make coffee for her. And I tried it once and disliked it very much. Never cared for it. I don't like, when people say, "Oh, well, you acquire a taste for it." I don't have any desire to acquire a taste for coffee. And everybody I know who drinks coffee has to do things to get coffee to not taste like coffee. So I don't see there's no reason. I'll just drink hot chocolate because everybody's trying to make their coffee taste like hot chocolate. Why don't you just drink hot chocolate? That's what I say. Hmm. Nope, I do not drink alcohol. Never have. Like I said, my grandfather was an alcoholic. I watched him drink himself to death at a young age and never had a desire to participate in alcohol at all. I have never had I've never had alcohol in any way, shape, or form. Well, I've had NyQuil. That's about it. That's about it. Bruno Bob, hot chocolate and cocaine. You do you, my friend. Trying to get it without super chat. Jacob, try asking again. At Jacob, what's Jacob asking? Jacob is asking something of Schopenhauer. As I tell people, have some cocoa. Just drink some cocoa. Maybe we can make like a super caffeinated cocoa, so you don't have to bother with drinking coffee. So don't really maybe once a year. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't have anything against people who participate in this stuff. I just don't really care for it. Never had a desire for it. I'm not missing anything, I don't think. So, milk of human kindness. That's true. I like that. Do books make you smart? Yeah, they make you. I think they give you information. There's a lot of people who are very smart who probably couldn't read at all, but they're very smart. And I know a lot of people who read a lot and know a lot of things, and they're idiots. So I don't think reading makes you smart. I think it improves you. But if you're already an idiot, you're not gonna. I do. Like I said, I love guitar. I'm trying to learn guitar. Let me just say that I am not a musician. I would like to be. I did play the saxophone back in junior high school. Um, but no. Do I like tea? No. I like herbal teas. I drink herbal teas quite a bit. I've had tea. I've had regular tea and just never cared for it. But I do drink herbal teas. My favorites are celestial seasonings, the peppermint and that kind of stuff. Uh, I know of a kid who's a genius, very smart, but he can't tie his own shoes. Weird. Yeah, it's there's a lot of people like that. That's kind of the idea behind my character is that he's yeah. If you meet people who are extremely intelligent, just really high IQs, a lot of things they just don't care about at all, like fashion, and just things that we think are important aren't important to them at all. And that's kind of how I see that character, is that he's just so smart that a lot of the stuff that we think is important isn't to him. So, oh, thank you, Trudy. I love you too. Thank you. Uh, the candy coated blood cult, guilt cult. That is my biggest problem. I think with most Christianity is it's so pushed. It's taken and it's pushed that whole idea of guilt onto people, um, and it's used to control and manipulate people and get you to put up more money and all that. By playing on your guilt, they get you to give them more money, and that is definitely a big problem I have with modern religion. Is you go to a church and the whole time they're just telling you to give them money, that somehow God's going to love you better if you give them money, and it's like yeah, yeah. It's very important you have a connection to God, and that you can have that one. That's probably the most important message anyone can have, is you can have a personal relationship with God. Churches are beneficial. I go to church. I enjoy church. I enjoy the people I go to church with. I have a great association with people at church. A lot of great friendships with people at church, because we have a like-minded view of the world. But I don't in any way think that you need um, um, the church. Let me say it this way: the church will not save you. Only God's uh, Christ in His power. That's what saves you. The church is beneficial and can be helpful, and that I think is a good thing. But you don't need. I think having that association can be very good. I think there are some great churches. There are a lot of great pastors out there that have a desire to serve and help people, and they are truly in service of others. There's a lot of those out there. There's a lot of people who go to church because they love and care about people. But there's also a lot of shysters out there. There's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of people who are just taking advantage of other people, and it gives religion a bad name and it hurts people. And instead of using that to benefit and help people, they use it to aggrandize themselves, and that's one of the problems with anything you do. Every time there's a power structure, people will take advantage of it for their own use, and that can be anywhere. I mean, that can be church, that can be a bowling league, that can be a homeowners association. Anytime you have a power structure, people are going to use that to aggrandize themselves. Um, but a lot of these, like I said, I love to teach. I love to get people to open their mind and broaden their horizons, and look at others with love and compassion. And I love helping other people. I love to try to fill my heart with love and compassion and kindness for other people. And I think that's the message that Christ was trying to share. That's the message of the Buddha. That's the message of religion, is that there's something greater than us, and that we should um, give our free will that we have and use it for good. That we have the ability to create and do amazing things in this life, and that we should do that. That we should look to benefit and bless the lives, not just get a whole bunch of money and collect it, and have a bunch of stuff and say, "Oh, look at me, how famous and amazing I am." You shouldn't. If that's your money, makes you more of who you are. And if you're a jerk and you get money, you just become a bigger jerk. You know. Um, but that's my 2 cents on religion. I said I don't have. I think that there are good churches. There's a lot of great people who go to church, and I said, if you're going to give your money, if you believe in tithe, if you believe in giving money to help the church and help people, find a group, find an organization that actually does that. You could tithe. I don't think you have to tithe specifically to a church. Okay, I mean, I tithe to my church because I believe in what my church does. They do a lot of great service, and they do a lot of help in people. So I believe in what they do. But if you're not a part of a church, but you believe in tithing, I think you can still give a tithe. If you say, hey, you pray to God and you say, I want to tithe, I want to give 10% to help others, to bless others. I think that you can go and find organizations that are doing good things, and you can give your money to them, and I think God will bless you for that. You don't have to give it to a church. I feel strongly about that. So, and I think there's a big move towards that. I think a lot of people are kind of deconstructing their religion, and some are using it as a reason to leave the church, which is fine. I mean, if it's your journey, and if you feel that way, I don't have anything against you for doing. I never want to downplay somebody else's spiritual journey, regardless of what it is, even if it's they become atheists, if that's what they feel strongly that they need, that they believe, and that they're wholehearted to it, and that they feel that that's where they need to be, and that's where they are. I don't have a problem with that at all. I get I find it a problem when people take their spiritual journey and try to compare everybody else to what their experience is, and so they'll look down on other people, or they will belittle somebody else's beliefs because they're not the same as your beliefs. But you don't know why people believe what they believe. I mean, you haven't been through what they've been through. They've been People have gone through very amazing experiences, and you're trying to discredit that because they're part of an organization that you think is crazy or whatever. Or and I think when you start diminishing other people's spiritual journey because it's not your spiritual journey, that's a terrible thing. That you're hurting yourself in doing that. You're not truly being honest with yourself. You probably, in fact, if you have to tear down other people's beliefs and mock other people for their beliefs, that's probably a description or a depiction of your lack of faith in what you believe. If somebody else has to be wrong for you to be right, you have problems. So I encourage you not to mock or ridicule anyone else's beliefs. I think it's you're really not. I think you can find ways to help people. Maybe you see people um, that you have something to add to their journey. You have something you want to share with them. That's great. I hope you do. I hope if you have something you want to share with me, I hope you will. Um, but to completely just discredit all religion because, oh, I watched a Bill Maher video once and now I don't. Now, come on, you know, pull together a little bit. Um, that's all I can say. Yes, I can see the chat. I can see it's right here. That's why. So I'm responding to people the thing they're talking about. So yes, I can. I can see the chat. So um, and I try to respond, but it's going kind of quick. So I can't. I don't always catch everything that's going on, but I see a good part of what's going on. If I ever get big enough, and then I can have somebody else who's like filtering through the comments. I've done that sometimes, but it's usually just me, so I don't have time to do it. How you, as a philosopher, became convinced of Christianity? That's a that's a great question. Well, I think ultimately with philosophy is that we really haven't. Well, I would say this: we don't have all the answers, and we know that we don't have all the answers. Um, And so I think it's logical for for an individual to say, look, we don't have all the answers, but I do believe that there's a purpose to this because everything I see around me has a purpose. Um, I think we all that there is a purpose and a meaning to life. We may not fully believe it or know what it is, but I believe that us being here is a gift. Whether or not you believe it came from a God, an all wise, powerful being, or if it just was a happy accident. Regardless, here we are. And um, what are we becoming? What are we doing with this amazing opportunity to be here, to be a sentient being, to be aware, to have choices that we can do good things, we can do bad things, we can do all kinds of amazing things. Um, uh, well, oh, interesting question, Ryan. Sergis, that's an interesting thought. I'll get back to that one. Agnostic, then how do you know? I don't. Well, okay. Here's the thing. When I say we don't have all the answers, I do believe that there is a God. I do believe that there is a purpose and meaning for us to be here, and I think that purpose and meaning is for us to figure out who we are as a being. Are we? What is it that we choose to become? What is it that we choose to create with being in this circumstance that we're here? What are we choosing to become by this? Um, that's ultimately it is what is the meaning of life is for us to discover what we think the meaning of life is. I mean, that's really what it comes down to it. And so I think it's logical to believe in a God. I think it's logical to want to pursue a way of finding that God and learning of that God. And I think it's logical to pursue that, and that there's nothing wrong with it. And this idea that somehow science and God are opposed to each other, science and religion are opposed to it, that is a farce. That is a ridiculous idea, to think that you have to be science or God, because even science is not settled by any way. I mean, it's not like, okay, this is the answer. Science is a method of discovery. And if you say that you definitely have the answers, if you think that science has the answers, you don't understand science. If you think the science is final in any point, you're wrong. You don't understand science. You're wrong. Um, and if you have a true belief in God, you're not afraid of science, because you know when at the end God will show up in the end. Anyway, so this whole idea that, oh well, if you believe in science and you can't believe in God, or that's a silly thing. That is a silly notion, I think. Oh, let me get rid of this. I got rid of that. Sorry about that. We had somebody pop in there and started. Here we're talking about philosophy and religion. Somebody pops in and starts trying to get people to go to a sex site. People. Uh, do you meditate? Yes, I do. I do meditate. I do. I think taking those moments to really contemplate and think. I do. I do quite a bit. Yes. Rodney's flies. He put all the ice into. That's funny, looted corpse. It made me laugh. Yeah, I do. I do believe that there. I mean, we only have access to a very small, limited amount of reality. You know, and to sit there and say you have all the answers one way or the other. I mean, and that's where faith comes in. Is that I believe that there is a purpose. I believe there is a God, and so I have faith that there is a God. But I don't use that to judge other people. I don't use that to hurt other people. I don't. I don't see that as it's just nonsense, just craziness. One of my favorite jokes. I got to share this with you. Um, there's a comedian named John Deming, and he is just a delight. I love this man. He's brilliant, brilliant funny. If you can find it, his name is John Deming. He lives in New York, upstate New York. But he has this joke, and I just loved it. When I heard it, I was just it's so perfect. But he says, yeah, grandma, somebody's grandma dies, and people will always say, well, where was their God to save her? And he says, well, science didn't save her either, which is a great joke. I love that joke. I love that joke. Yeah, I think God's name. I see a lot of these videos of people saying, "Oh, God's true name has been hidden, and only 4 people in the whole world really know God's name, and because you're not calling on the right name of God, that God hates you, and that you're a Satan worshiper or something for using." If you're pure in intent and in belief, God knows who you're talking to when you communicate with God. Yeah, science doesn't care what you believe. That's true. I agree with that. Thanks, Canada. Thank you, Christine. I agree with. Thank you for your comment there. That's really how I believe. Yes, I'm sure that. I think everyone's journey is individualized. I also believe our journey after life is individualized. And hopefully, everything what we expect or imagine it to be. Yeah. Yep. Shane says you're doing great work. Keep making us laugh. Keep spreading our obvious but hidden truth. Yes, that really is the key to the whole thing. Just so you know, is that I do not believe in any by any stretch of the imagination that somehow I am coming up with all this stuff out of that I'm somehow this gifted genius that is blessing the world with his untapped knowledge. No, that's not it. I'm just sharing with you things you already know and you probably just forgot. You want to know where I get my ideas from? I get it from here. I get it from Epictetus. Um, James Allen, Viktor Frankl. I read, I discern. So I don't. I'm not. I don't think of myself as a gifted genius that's imparting great wisdom upon the world. I'm just another knucklehead who's sharing with the world things that they already know. Advice for dealing with grief. Oh, I've done a lot of videos about that, about death. I just hung out with my cousin's um, widow. He was a very good friend growing up. My cousin Jeff, we were, especially in the summer. He was 1 year. He was one grade ahead of me in school, but we were together all the time. We were just summers. We were always together, and holidays. I mean, we just spent. He was really my closest friend, confidant growing up as a kid. And he passed away a few years ago. He was not that old. He was 50 years old. And it was tough. And then my father died when I was younger. I was 28 when my dad passed away. He was only 54, which has gotten me, because I'm 53. And it's, so I'm kind of having a moment this year, if you will, closing in on 54. So anyway, plus I've lost a son, um, my grandparents. I've been through a lot of grief in my life, and what I find is that instead of being sad that they're gone, I just turn that to remembering the good times. I remember the times laughing with my cousin Jeff, and I think about my dad and the lessons he taught me, and all of that. And so instead of letting that grief bring you down, you know, think about when you're thinking about the person you're grieving over, think about the joy that you had in your life. I mean, the reason you're sad is because you've lost something. But what you should be happy about is that you have those memories. You still have that with you. And let yourself be happy, because that person, they want you to be happy. They don't want to be the cause of bringing you pain and frustration and sadness. They don't want to be that. They don't want. They want their memory to bring you joy. That's what they want. That's what they want. Isn't that what you want? I mean, if you, when you pass on and other people think about you, do you want them to be miserable? Do you want to be the cause of them being miserable and upset and mad? Is that what you want them to feel when they think of you? Of course not. You want them to be happy. You want them to be full of joy. You want them to think about you and have a smile on their face and say they were pure joy. I mean, that isn't that what you want? Well, you don't think that's what they want for you? They want you to be happy. I mean, if you really want to honor somebody, be joyful about having been a part of their life and that they were a part of yours. That's how you get over grief, is you replace the grief with joy. And you just say, when I think about a person, I get a smile on my face because he brought me happiness. When I was in their presence, there was joy. There was, and I believe that we'll be reunited at some point in time with all of them. And when you say I love them, and I look forward to being there with them again, and by being happy and expressing that joy and expressing that happiness, that's how you honor them. That's how you grieve. That's how I grieve, is by being happy that I got to know them at all, that I got to have those opportunities to be with them at all. And I cherish those memories. I cherish those times that fill up. That's it. That's how I deal with it. Yes, it does. It creates the beauty of grief. It creates space for that joy. Absolutely. Um, yeah, it was funny. Somebody just mentioned about you meet their mother in their dreams. I had, when my grandfather, Jack, Grandpa Jack, died. He was my mother's father. He's the one who inspired my character, Leonard. Um, After um, he died when I was 12. And a few months after he had passed away, I had a dream one night. And in this dream, he taught me how to tie a tie. Now, I knew how to tie a tie basically, but he taught me what's called the double Windsor, which I didn't know how to use that knot, but that's what he always used when he tied his tie. So in my dream, my grandfather came to me and showed me how to tie a tie the way he tied his tie. And he had never shown this to me when he was alive. I was never aware of him doing this when I was alive. And so, in the dream, he told me, go show your grandmother. And that next morning, my grandmother, she just lived up the street from us, and she came by. She was by all the time. She'd come pick up my mom, and they would go shopping or whatever. And she came down, and she was sitting in front of the house. And so I ran out there with a tie. And I said, Grandma, I want to show you something. And I tied the tie, and she's looking at me, and she goes, "Oh, that's how your grandpa used to tie his tie." And I said, "I know. Um, he just showed me in a dream last night and told me to tell you hi and that he loves you." And my grandparents and I have the best relationship. I'll be honest with you. My grandma's reaction was a little dumbfounded because her and my grandpa had a very odd, estranged relationship, and but it was an interesting confirmation for my grandmother when she says that is without. I didn't tell her, "Hey, this is what Grandpa showed me." I just said, "Hey, Grandma, look at this." I tied the tie, and she knew exactly that that's how your Grandpa Jack used to tie his tie. So I was 12 years old. It was, like I said, it was just after he had died, just before I turned 13. So, yeah. Trying to see what's on my bookshelf. Well, books. Um, I got racquetballs because I juggle. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay, just to grab a selection of books. Here we go. Here's one. Oh, The Tao of Physics. That's a fun book. A companion study to your guide of the Doctrine and Covenants. That's a Mormon thing. So most of you probably don't care about that one, but it's what that one is. Then this one is Remarks on the Foundations of Mathematics by Luke Wittgenstein. I'll be honest with you, not an easy read. Not an easy read, my friends. This is not an easy read. This is not casual reading for fun. Well, unless you're a philosopher, then it's fun. But if you're just reading, if you're going to study philosophy and you really want to, don't read Wittgenstein. He's fun, but you don't want to read. Don't read that. Oh, and then here's one: The Problems of Philosophy by Bertrand Russell. Love Bertrand Russell. He was one of the best philosophy writers, I think. Probably the most just solid, just logic thinking individuals. I love the way he writes. I love what he does. There's a few more selections. The Hidden Tools of Comedy. Working on a whole thing about philosophy of humor. I did a dissertation about it for my senior thesis for college. Was about the philosophy of humor, and I'm going to be writing more about that and expanding on that. Oh, here's just sort of a silly book I picked up one time, 101 Dilemmas for the Armchair Philosopher. Just kind of funny little things to think about. Discovering the Laws of Life by John Marks Templeton. I believe this was a gift from somebody. I have not read this book yet. This is one of the books I have that I've not read yet. So, this one is The Physics of Immortality. A lot of very. If you're into physics, it's actually very similar to the Tao of Physics, which I highly recommend. So anyway, that's my selection of books today. Nietzsche I think Nietzsche was actually a stand-up comedian who just didn't have a stage to perform on. If you read Nietzsche, it, I encourage you to pick up anything by Nietzsche and read it as if you're a stand-up comic writing notes about jokes, and you will enjoy Nietzsche from that point on. Think of Nietzsche as just he was a stand-up comic who didn't have anywhere to perform. You'll find him a lot more entertaining that way. George Carlin is very funny. I agree. Mhm. My phone broke. It feels so nice. What was this, Schopenhauer? Different question. How did it when you don't want to do it but must do it? I run into this all the time. I have so many things that I should be doing that I haven't been doing. Things for like my career, um, like booking more shows, um, trying to promote myself more. I don't know, stuff I should be doing. Um, a lot of times we stop doing things because we have so many things to do that we end up not doing any of them because we think, well, what's most important? Well, none of them are more important than any other. What's important is you just start doing something. So what you should do is just pick something and just do it. And just know that whatever it is you decide to do at that moment, that is the most important thing that you're doing. And then you accomplish that task and then you move to the next thing. So whatever it is that you're doing, give your full attention to that one thing and get it done. Because as soon as you're done, then you can stop thinking about it. And then it allows you to think about your other stuff with more energy. And again, this is probably just as much probably just as much for me as anything. Nietzsche was a nihilist. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Again, like I said, he was a comedian that didn't have a stage to perform on. I'm coming to Nevada. I'm coming to Nevada. Uh, I'm in Las Vegas. Wise Guys in a few weeks, just after Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be in Carson City the second week. So yes, I'm coming to Nevada. So anyway, boy, this has been going for holy crud, 2 hours. I got stuff I gotta go do. I'm using this as an excuse to not do things. Anyway, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Everybody who's donated, contributed to the cause. Not Reno. I'll be in Carson City. I'll be near Reno. But um, thank you everybody for joining me here. Everybody on Facebook and YouTube and elsewhere. Thank you. But I do have some things to go do. But go to my website. Right there, rodneynorman.com. If you want to contribute, support the cause, buy a t-shirt, hire me to do videos for you, whatever. I've got some videos to go do actually. Normanian. That's funny. Angel the Activator. Angel the Activator. So anyway, thank you everyone. You guys have been amazing. Thanks for hanging out with me. Some of you have been here the whole time. This is almost 2 hours. You guys are incredible. Thank you. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I hope that you have a magnificent week. I'll be back on here probably tomorrow sometime. I'm going to start actually doing my podcast at some point in time, and hopefully this week. Love you, and you guys have a super freaking awesome day.